Hi, JP. Hi, Mary. Hi. Yes, I am fine. I'm always fine. I've actually managed to put nail varnish on today. Quite like it. It's like a greeny, I don't know, nice colour. I was feeling all earthy. And yeah, I don't know what colour it is. Let me go and find the name. I want a Tiffany blue running up to the election. Hi, Northern Wolfhound. Let me just go and have a look for you ladies. Yeah, I just got it the other day because I thought I haven't painted my nails for ages because I craft a lot, so it ruins my nail varnish. But I thought, I'm feeling very urban turquoise. Well, that's funny because I was about to mention turquoise because it was one of my nana's favourite colours. She liked to wear in jewellery and on her. That's why I love turquoise as well. But in a spiritual meaning, it's really good. Oh, it's Maybelline. But it's 120 Urban Turquoise. Quite like it. Didn't think I'd like it, but I was like, yeah, I like it. I like it. Sort of matches my ring a little bit. It's a bit more greeny than the blue. And I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, I just want to light my body. Hi, Robert. These little incense cones instead of the sticks. Just had one on before. Just decided to place it in here with the little metal thing at the bottom. I'm just gonna light that. While I'm waiting, I'll just wait a few more minutes. So we got Northern Wolfhound, JP, Mary, Robert, and some other people that might be watching. All spying. I'm going to put that over there. So, just stick him over there. I'll stick him over there. Where's Tapper? I don't know. He watches. He stays in the background sometimes listening, and he is doing his own thing as well. So he's about. Good afternoon, Michelle. How is everybody? I'm buzzing again as usual. Like, speaking to people. Spoke to someone from chat today. I've made this today. I had to have this. Had this gemstone knocking about, and I'm like, do you know what? It's just a very calming colour. Like the ocean sort of thing. It's just very calming because we need to be a bit calm through the storm that we're going through and the stuff that's coming out. There's two videos I'm going to play. One's just a little bit I'm going to play from Above Duality about orbs, and then the other one I'll show you because I'm going to do a rundown through it because they've said exactly what I've been saying, what a lot of us have been saying. It's not just me. Hang on a minute. Oh, sorry about that. Just need to take my sock things off. Too warm. I don't know what I was saying then. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then there's another channel. Just because they are into Q, but they also say something about Q that I've been saying about Q. When people get their head stuck down the rabbit holes too much, because it's not about getting your head stuck there too much and staying there. Hi Janice. Oh yeah, well, funnily enough, JP, Eve, who isn't in chat yet, she might be listening, I don't know. She comes in chat. I spoke to her today on the phone and she was saying how much she loved the Little Soul and the Sun book, and it made her cry when I read it because it is a beautiful book and it does make you realise a lot of things about your life, and things that seem bad sometimes make you who you are today. Good afternoon, Thomas. Yes, emerald turquoise. Boom, 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 boom. I was just digging this colour. I don't normally wear colours like this, but I was like, do you know what? I quite like it. Stands out. Got to give yourself a bit of self-love, you know. I'm visual, so I like visual things. Some people aren't, and that's okay. Yeah, no. So, oh, did you get your Himalayan salt candles? Yeah, I've got 4 little things, and I've got lamps. I've got a lamp down here and 2 in my bedroom, and they're really nice. It gives it a nice ambience as well as many healing properties. Also, I love Himalayan salt, eating it on my food, not table salt, Himalayan. So yeah, so there's 2 videos I'm going to show, and then I'm going to talk about, before I put the second video on, I'm going to talk very quickly on my awakening, because I have got newbies in too that might not know, and it might settle some other things that I've been flying about as well. So before I get into that, yeah, I painted my nails. I've been putting together some bits and bobs, and I've actually changed the Instagram now, where I do all my creative bits. I've changed it back to Dolly Daydream Designs, because it was Dolly Daydream's Boho Boutique, and it was a bit of a mouthful, and I think it's just best to leave it simple. So it is Dolly Daydream, not Dolly Day. Yeah, there's Dolly Daydream, and then there's Dolly Llama Designs. That's pretty easy. So, hi Zol. Oh, I'm so glad 2 people have bought it. I've lent it to a friend. I've read it to my son, and I've lent it to a friend because I said you have to read it to your daughter. I brought that book from. It's such a gorgeous book. Have you got it yet? Have you both received it yet, or have you just purchased it? Can't even speak. I don't know. I must be on some energy tonight because I've had 4 hours sleep, and that's all I had last night. But you know, we've got this energy here to breathe in deeply. So I'm just watching the smoke off my incense. Still waiting for it to turn. You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it, and you'll love reading it to your children or grandchildren, or, you know, what anyone's bought it for. So, yeah, so I was putting a few things together. I had my... Actually, I've not brought them in here, actually. Hi, Effie. I've managed to put a few of these together. They're really, really cute. 2 sets of hair clips for children. These little lovely little deers. Like I said, they have got a spiritual meaning behind deers anyway, if you go and look that up. But little girls, I've made a couple of them. There's only a couple in. I have been... what I've decided to do with some of my jewellery, because it's not just jewellery design, I design a lot of stuff. 17 in chat, thank you very much. And it's always gemstone jewellery, is I've decided to put them on these little cards, thank you cards, and they go like this, and hang on a minute, and then writing what the stone is and what it's about, and then I've sort of done a little cute little picture, so you sort of get a free little bit of artwork off me as well. But my friends asked for this, so, you know, There's going to be a couple of these left, but some will be shorter, some will be longer, as in the length of the gemstone, because they're just all different sizes. But yes, so I just love that. I love that myself. I love doing this sort of stuff, and I love giving it out. So I always put a little bit of artwork there, or normally I do it on my thank you card. So that's there. Also, do you remember when I said about I've got one of these myself. This is mine. This is going to be mine. And normally I'll have my stones and things in a little, what are they called? What the little bag's called? Not Hessian, like little gauze bag thing where I put my crystals in. And sometimes if I go anywhere, sometimes I'll put my crystals in, or actually let me show you what I mean, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Don't actually know where it is. Saying it's no wonder I need a pouch because I lose crystals all over the place. This isn't it. I don't know where it is, but I normally have a bag like this with crystals in that I like to take about with me if I'm out. And I normally have in it a moonstone. I've shown it ages ago. Moonstone, what they call pendulum that I've got. Well, I don't know where it is at the minute, but it doesn't always happen with crystals. You lose them and then they turn up again. So that's why I decided to have who's that? Hi Gareth, hi Sue, hi Katie, hi Josephine, hi John. Dolly, much love from Massachusetts, USA. Back at you. I love America. You're doing a great job. It's about to hit the UK. You've had so much crap over there, it's about to hit the UK. Oh yes. It's hitting everywhere. But anyway, yeah, so when you have little gemstones, little ones, they just fit in these little pouches, and they're cute because they're not going to fall out because they've got a little zip on. My moldavite has hidden itself. Don't they always hide themselves, CJ? So I've decided to do these, and they have a little charm on the side of, I think it's rose quartz, amethyst, a little moon, and a little star. But they're going together in a set, so they could be Christmas ideas or gifts or something. I just put my mum in it. Oh, yeah. It's nice to receive crystals. So, if anyone's interested for Christmas gifts, stocking fillers. And then what's going to go with these is either an amethyst necklace, gemstones, or turquoise. And I will model it now. Yeah, they do, don't they, Sue? I don't normally wear, like, darkish colours, but I quite like it, and they look quite nice. And it's going to be going with the bag, the necklace. Something else is going with it, but I can't remember quite what was going in the set. But something else, I can't think what it was off the top of my head. Yeah, so they're like silver tone chain, and then amethyst. Got on about amethyst. What is it? Turquoise, can't even think. And they're just simple. So you'll get one of them, one of these, and something else, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head what I was actually doing. But they're very cute, They're very cute. An amethyst for protection. A lot of protection needs at the minute, A lot of energies flying about everywhere. My missus likes your nail colour. Oh, does she? Good. Yeah. Well, ladies, if you're interested, it is. I'm going to be doing my nails up a lot more. Remember, Sue, when I used to do my nails all the time when I was into the nail thing? I fell off that because I just got out of that whole thing. But nail varnish, Now and again, ladies, you've got to treat yourself with a bit of colour, and a bit of colour in autumn is nice. And it's not a bright summery colour, even though you could. I just think it's not my usual colour, but I think it's quite nice. And it's called Urban Turquoise, and it's by Maybelline Colour Show 60 Seconds. I got it off eBay, but like I said, 102, which is 3, Urban Turquoise. So just thought I'd show you that there. Let's see likes for Dolly's. Dolly, can't even speak today. Thanks, John. So that was that. So I've got the hair accessories, this, that and the other. Those. I put my necklace back on. Yeah, stocking stuffers, exactly. I am doing a few stocking stuffers. Oh, also, I think I'm going to throw this on my Insta as well, because it's a handmade journal that I made out of an old book ages ago. And it's just for, it's all handmade. All these tags and everything are handmade. All the pages are tea stained for writing and drawing in, like I do in my little... Oh, now it's reminded me what I'm doing. I'm doing a pouch, crystal pouch, a necklace, and one of these just simple little notebooks, the tall ones, with that set, so you can write down your little meditations or thoughts, or like I do, I like I said, I have books all over my house that I just randomly pick up and draw in. Probably remember me showing you this one a while back, when I've shown my artwork. Oh, she's asleep. She's awakened. Have a quick look. I've not finished it all. That's because I'm in loads of different books at different times. My artwork. Oh yes, my artwork. Gamer. Yeah, for Prezzies, yeah. What else was in there? What has it got? Let me see. Thank you. Was another one. This was something going on there. Oh, and people who were getting triggered about trees. I had another experience with a tree. That's just a picture again. Another experience with a tree. Just going to quickly share it. Me and my fella, and I had to draw this, we are part of the tree thing and all that. But I'm not sharing that because it's for me and him. Oh, just saying. So one of these sort of books will go with a crystal pouch and either turquoise necklace, gemstone necklace, or an amethyst one. And yeah, I package it and make it all cute and nice and all that. That's all good stuff. So yeah, that's all good. You could replicate your drawings for purchase if we... Yeah, funny enough, Eve, who I spoke to today, said that. And I have said, do colouring books, and then I get caught up in other stuff because I actually do a lot of stuff. My mind's always on the go. But I know I need to do something. I should just say I just bring something out in the new year. But she was saying, and I think I did mention this once, about putting my drawings into a book of all the thoughts and meditations and all them pictures put together in just one book. That is just one big book of visual pictures. No words, just, unless there's words on it, just pictures. Of where you could see my head was at. I'll be in touch soon for some bits. Oh, thank you, CJ. Thank you. Yeah, if you go over on the Instagram on the Dolly Lima designs, I'm going to be putting it up over the next couple of days. What I've been doing so far. Like I said, because Christmas is coming in, the nice little stocking fillers. I love Dolly. I had another experience with a tree. So true. Some people think we are insane, but yes. So I'm going to be doing some more journals in the very near future. But like I say, because my mind's always on different things, jewellery, this, that, bags, but blah, blah, blah. I can't stick to one thing, but I am going to be doing some more journals. Not quite like this, but I am going to be putting more of those out for journal lovers who, like I say, when you're meditating or things are coming in, you should draw them down, write them down, because sometimes you go back and you're like, wow. This is another handmade journal that I made with my blue angel on it. Is from one of my paintings, so I think I could start doing this and covering certain books with my artwork, which would be nice, and maybe putting some of my pictures into the books, so every now and again you'll have a little picture of something I've done in the actual papers. Because what I do is, I even made this ages ago, so proud of it. I made this paper clip. It's so cute. I actually made this myself. So I enjoyed doing that sort of stuff, so I may be bringing out some more handmade sort of journals. Hi Deanie. And like I said, this is where I write things down that come in. I write, I've always been doing ladies' faces, it's just my thing. I feel like divine feminine. This is why I say I have books all over, doing my art everywhere, journaling. I always show it off because it's not showing it off, it's bringing happiness to people. Look at this picture, I love this, purple hair. It's the eyes, it's the eyes. Look how gorgeous she is. That'd make a nice cover. I like to share it because I know it gives people joy, and that's what we're here to do, and that's what I'm about to talk about in a minute. You know, I get things in and I just draw. But yeah, you can always ask for, I guess, a commission. If I can do it, I can do it. But it'd be my style, do you know what I mean? So, yeah. I know someone asked, it might be someone in there, they asked about the Statue of Liberty one. I do need to sort that out. I still haven't done it yet. Like I said, I have so many things on the go, but it was a very nice picture of the Statue of Liberty. So, and liberty, freedom is coming, so it's quite relevant. Just trying to check through. Yeah, there's like a little fairy girl there. So these are going to be making a comeback at some point. So like I said, my little shop will be a one shop full of all magical things, you know what I mean? So anyway, getting back into, and I need to make this into something, because this was my Nana's, who passed away in 2017, and that's why I say the number 7 follows me about, and I totally forgot, like, not forgot, but she passed away into another form of energy on the 7th of the 7th month, 2017. Make it into a necklace or something, couldn't I? Yeah, so anyway, going to get into it. I'll be here all night. Like I said, I'm a bit tired from 17, still in chat. So I'm going to go very quickly through my awakening. Yeah, for all your spiritual needs, that's what my shop is going to be about. Well done, Katie. Hey, yeah. So, thank you. I just love creating and I love putting it out there. That's the thing that I love doing. So you've got to do what you love, haven't you? So I'm going to quickly go through my awakening. Actually, I need to find a picture because it's very relevant, that I painted ages ago that most of you have seen. Now, there's one that looks weird because it never got finished off, and it will. I just don't know what it's going to look like yet. Was this one that looks really odd at the minute, Funny enough, talking about, you know, the blue orbs and stuff that are still about today. And I did that ages ago. Oh, it's not that picture, right? Where is this painting? It's not that one. Where is it? This is the one. This one. People may remember who've been following me a while. Remember when I painted this? I didn't really know what I was doing. And I was just like painting. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is, you know, like snowflakes. But then that was reminded me of the whole Transform-infomaton thing. And then they had these, well, let's tell you a story about this. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, right. So, my awakening, because I'm going to say this again because people are getting confused out there and they need to hear it from out of my mouth and not other people's mouths. Yeah, the avians. I've been awake to, let's say, energies, fairies, elementals, if you want to say, all that sort of good stuff, loving trees. Since I was a little girl, like most people do believe in stuff like that, but it never left me. That's hence why my name on here is Dolly Daydream, the daydream bit, because I was in a daydream, always got ahead in the clouds. I'm a Pisces, very much like that, very dreamy, dreaming, dream time sort of thing, using your imagination. So I'm not going to look at chat because I'll get distracted. So talk among yourselves, and if anyone comes in, just tell them, I'm in the flow and I'm just talking. So as we're saying, I used to live in a place called Bovington, which was very countrified, and we lived near a forest. And if my dad was in here now, he'd tell you, and Waxman used to come in the chat. And we lived near a swamp, a forest. We were just surrounded by nature. Used to go out with my dad all the time, taking the dog for a walk in the woods. We loved the woods, loved it when it was all the woods were covered in bluebells. And when I see bluebells now, I'm still like, oh, I remember the smell of the pine trees, the smell of the trees, everything, all that. Just loved it. Used to play out in the woods all the time. Didn't even think of stranger danger back then like today. Just didn't think of anything. So, anyway, there was a tree, this big tree, and I used to go and dance around it, using your imagination. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to collect all the acorns and the little, I call them hats, I still call them that today, so does my son, the little bits off the acorns. Yeah, a bluebell carpet. And I used to think they were the fairies' hats, or they'd use them as bowls to eat out. So I used to collect them and put them at the bottom of the acorn tree, the big oak tree. And it was called Mr. Oak Tree. And I just remember that. So I've always had that connection there, I've always loved the films like Avatar, the AOR tree, Spirit Tree, Lord of the Rings, when the trees, came alive and started walking, anything like that people would see as fantasy. I believed in more of that than any other stuff. So as a kid, obviously, I've always been like that, but I never grew out of that. I've always been into the so-called fantasy films, but when you realise fantasy's got more truth in than what they call is real, yeah, so enchanting. Yeah, so I've always been into the enchanted stuff. That has never left me till this present day. When I talk about my awakening, what people get confused with is that isn't really anything new to me, only apart from seeing what I'll talk about in a bit. Seeing, you can feel energies, but when I started seeing, that's different for me. I will admit that, but not the knowing or the feeling. So, but what I didn't know was, my fingers are tingling now, what I didn't know was, when I came into Q, and it doesn't matter if you're not into Q, you just need to listen. When I came into Q, no, Mark, so like I said, just listen, try and listen to somebody's story of how they're talking about their awakening, and I'm not getting in conversation in chat or commenting back now. When I got into Q, and if you don't think Q's real, you're going to find out very soon. I mean, it's all dropping now anyway about Biden's and all that, but that's not what I'm talking about. When I got into Q, because there's still people into Q that don't get the point of not being down the rabbit holes for too long. When I got into Q, my dad introduced me to it, that's when my world fell apart. As in, not what I believe in, as in energies, or what you want to say, energies, entities, consciousness around us, not that. I've always believed in stuff like that. Just from experience I had as a kid with this feeling I used to have in my bedroom of this thing, and I didn't know what it was, and I used to go under my blankets when you're scared as a kid, but I don't think, looking back now, it was scary. I couldn't explain what it was. I have talked about this before, and I didn't want to come out under the blankets in case I saw something, but I knew I wouldn't see something. I just had this feeling something was there, because I couldn't explain that. It didn't feel like it had arms and legs. It was a thing, and then I think of the orbs now. I called it the blob, because I didn't know what it was. I just had this weird feeling. I used to get that quite a lot when I was a kid, and then I used to have dreams about being in a circle and some sort of ET forms, a bit like ET out of an ET film, because that's one of my best films, on the other side of the circle. Not talking, just as if you're communicating through telepathy or something like that. But we all know dreams and only messages and stuff, so, you know, when you look back now, you're like, oh, yes, we're listening to my perspective. Thank you, Stephen. So I got into Q and my world fell apart, as in I couldn't believe what was going on in the 3D, as we like to call it, in the material world of the shit that you've probably heard of, child trafficking, satanic rich, all that stuff. You know, people can sit there and laugh, but I can talk about it and talk about the dark and shine the light on it because I'm not in no fear. But it did break me down when I first found out, and I was obsessed. And the reason why I'm sharing my awakening again is because there's new people on here, and there's new people that are just coming into that movement and the awakening, because it's all the same thing. And they need to hear people talking about it so they know that maybe that's how they felt, and maybe they're realising now that they've got to move forward. So this is why I'm sharing it again. So I went into all of that for 2 weeks. I couldn't stop crying. I was like a zombie. I wanted every bit of information going, looking at every video, looking at, you know, the great videos out there that, by the way, have been taken down. I don't know if they're back on. Dolly, check out. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't watch too much now, Zal, because I'll tell you why in a minute, but I won't get distracted by chat, so sorry. So yeah, crying for 2 weeks. My mum came out, she's like, what is the matter? And I was like, oh my God. And I know it's nothing new under the sun for some people, but there's a bit more in depth even about that we're still going to be shocked about. So, well, if you want to listen to what the butterfly transformation is, you need to listen. You need to listen, stop being impatient. So someone remind me of that, and again in a minute. So yeah, it wasn't heartbreaking it was heartbreaking, Laurie. So I was heartbroken because, you know, especially about the kids, and that is what Trump's going for, by the way. Paedophiles, satanic paedophiles, by the way. Truth hurts. But yeah, I woke up to all that, was like a walking zombie, wanted to smash, I'm going to say it, everybody's face in. I just wasn't happy when I found out. I was like, oh my God, I need to hit out everyone on their head with a baseball bat. I need to wake them up, because I'm being truthful. This is how you feel. I was so enraged, so mad. And this is why the drip effect had to happen, because you can imagine a world with us all waking up at the same time. I don't think so. It'd have been like the Purge, the film. Even though we are going through a purge of energies, it'd have been like that, with no one to calm anyone down, because we all would have just been like not trusting each other, killing it, and God knows what. So went through all of that. Used to, you know, talking about Q a lot, all the things, bringing things out with JFK Jr., what I'd seen with JFK Jr., and that's all beautiful, and that's all there, great energy. Going on and on and on about it. And then I started to, you know, over the past, maybe this year, last year, going into this year, slowing down, because I realised through Q, personally, so it's nobody else's path but mine and my awakening, despite what other people think out there. Q woke me back up to myself and woke me up to create a God source, whatever you want to call it. Not that I was ever separate from it, because I've always been into that. I've always been into nature, stuff like that. I know nature heals, blah, 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 and, you know, all that sort of good stuff that most of us know. And that we're still trying to pump out to get people to remember. It's all about remembering who we are and what we're a part of. And, you know, we're not, what was that song that came into my head before? We're just ordinary people. We're not ordinary people, by the way. We're very powerful beings. So, yeah, I woke up to all that. Started calming down a bit, because I realised from the Q movement is a good movement. It's about being aware. It's about questioning everything. It's about doing the research yourself to wake up to actually what the world is. And then, like I said, you've got to look from both sides. And this is why I can say things to people. I'm like, yeah, but I'm looking from both sides. I'm looking for your perspective and that perspective, but I've seen what it is. But then I moved from Q. I haven't moved away from it, because it's still here. Look, triggered Q, because I'm sitting back like Q told us to. I'm watching the Earth movie, and it's fantastic. Yes, there's shit happening. Yes, people are getting hurt and all that, but that's because still a lot of people in anger and this, that, and the other. But to me, I've always said, people had to, yeah, what's astonishing how many people fell for it. What, Q? Yeah, maybe, because there's something in that. And just walk me back up to myself and like, yeah, I'm watching the show, you know, because it is a show. It's all theatre, but it has to happen because it's nothing under the sun where these cycles happen, but we need to do it different this time. This is what I said. This is why things have to be outed and there has to be solutions. Yeah. And I'm going to play a video that's going to explain this a little bit better than me. And it's brought me so much joy. The truth has set me free. I mean, the truth's not nice, but you've got to learn to move from that. This is why I entitled the chat, what did I entitle it? What did I entitle it? What was it, the butterfly? Yeah, my awakening and butterfly transformation, because we all know the butterfly represents transformation. You've been in a chrysalis, you've been in the dark, but you do come out of the dark and you turn into a butterfly and you rise in a high state of consciousness, ascension, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. And you become a beautiful butterfly. You know, you've been in the dark a lot, you've been in the dark. Also, the dark means with no information, as in they have lied. But why I put my awakening and a butterfly in transform information, meaning you're taking information in, be careful what information you're taking in, because you can transcend it, transmute it, or whatever. You take the bits that you need, what you resonate with, that I've always said. So some information, if you're not careful, is not going to help you ascend in your higher state of consciousness. But some of it is, so be very careful, like I've said, who you're watching, what sort of information you're stepping into. And this is why I've said before, I know there's a lot of people in the Q movement and even people that I've got on it now that don't understand. If you go into Q, and Q's brilliant, Q is so brilliant. It was a stepping stone. It was a tool to realize to stop being lazy and research yourself. To all the people that come into my chat or say silly comments after, who don't research and they regurgitate what the news says, you know what I mean? Mafia media, medieval media. And they don't want to do the research because they're lazy and they say they haven't got time. Well, you have had time because we've all had time in with what's going on. So yeah, take time away to reflect. Yes. And then, yeah, take the information on, reflect on it. Just trying to distract. Yeah, I know they are. I know they're trying to distract. They're probably from you know where. So that's why I'm not really going to take much notice. It's my journey and my truth, and I'm talking about it. So yeah, you know what to do if they get, you know. So with the Q movement, what people have got to be careful is if you'll get your eyes open by Q, yes, Laurie, but if you stay in them rabbit holes, you will get depressed. You won't move with the flow. You won't move on for solutions. You won't move anywhere. You're not going to be bringing new energies in. You're not going to be vibrating higher because you're going to be stuck there. Yes, there is such a thing as boots on the ground and things need to be brought up, and that's other people's missions. My mission personally is not to do that, because my mission is to help with people's, I believe, bringing your, inspiring you, maybe in the artwork, keeping your vibes up while we all go through this together, where we go one, we go all, and just keeping people in a positive mind state. Hi, Danny, because if you think you're seeing crap, just wait over these next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Your mindset's got to be in a good state of consciousness. And like I said, there's a lot of people coming into the Q movement who new, just come into it and they're all like shouty, which we all were. But you've got to realise if you don't go along with the flow of like, yes, I've got that information right, I know about that, okay, that doesn't really, I don't need to take all of that in, let's move forward. So how do we do this? Because when this all comes out and Q's gone, what you're going to do? You know what I mean? You have got to rely on yourself and learn how to go within and use your, you know, intuitive navigation. But I'm going to play a video in a minute that'll explain that. But I've always said that anyway. And that's why I don't go too in depth about that anymore, because I know the whole thing is a spiritual journey. And that is a divine plan, by the way. Q is it's part of a divine plan. Trump is working for the light. I know that because I've seen it round him. People who can't feed into that need to go and look at themselves, because like I said before, you're judging a man on some faults from the past. You've all got faults. People who say they haven't, you're lying. You've all had faults. You're not judging the guy on his spirit and what this guy is doing now. You all regurgitate what the news says, and you all regurgitate, oh yeah, but he said this back then. We've all got faults, we've all said something, and I've said this before, but people don't see that in themselves because they don't want to. This whole thing as well is about you seeing yourself as well. And when you get triggered sometimes by people, that means you need to go and look at yourself, because it's about you as well and facing your responsibilities. If you're feeling crap, then you need to look at what you're doing. You need to face your responsibilities for the stuff you're putting out. You know what I mean? So, like I said, went through all that, met loads of nice people on the way, met people. Some people stayed, some people didn't. And I don't know why people get bothered about that, because that's life anyway. Some people are in your life for a moment, some people in your life for a few weeks, some people are in your life for a couple of years, some people are here forever. Do you know what I mean? And the people who know me, when I used to do chats on the Really Woke show, we did the meetup and met a load of lovely people, with Roxanne the Globalist and I, who I'm still in contact with, but she's doing her own thing and I'm doing mine. So, you know, I'm doing mine. So when we did the meetup, she's doing her mission of what she's doing and I'm doing mine. So it's beautiful, and that's why I'm saying I know I'm doing my mission. The people who are out there protesting and doing their thing are doing their mission, but I know I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that mission now, and that's okay, because we all have different missions. Like I said, you're in a job. Hate is gonna hate. Can't think where you're from. You know, like I said, you got a job, you're in a job, you work in an office. There's all parts of that office that do different jobs to make that business work. And that's the same thing as this. I'm doing my bit, you're doing yours, even if you don't think you are, because you're holding the light for people, you know, whatever. You've got people, like I said, who are grid workers, people are doing this, people are doing that, on many different levels of different things, but it all comes together. So when people are shouting out about, oh, you're not doing it right, you're not doing it this way, I'm not meant to be doing it your way. I'm meant to be doing it my way, because if I don't do it my way, I'm not going to understand it. So what works for one person might not work for me. And the whole thing as well is, as much as we all try to help people, I've done it. You've got to go on your initiation, your path, your quest, your hero's journey yourself, because you can't cheat it, or like some so-called light workers do, or people in the spiritual community want to bypass certain things because it's not all love and light, because they don't want to look at the dark. That also means they don't want to look at the dark within themselves. I've had to face like that many other people. You can't bypass it. You can't fake. What's the word? You can't skip bits out in the test. You're only going to really know when you experience certain things or going through it yourself. It doesn't matter how many people tell you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Yeah, we put stuff out to help, like I do, you know, different things we put out. But really, you need to do it the way you understand it. And the reason why we look at other channels and we all communicate is little bits help, and someone will go, well, that I've tried that doesn't really work for me. You know, someone might say, I've tried meditating, it just doesn't work for me, it doesn't quiet my mind down. Well, I can sit and meditate, but I do a lot of meditation when I'm drawing. That's how I go in, and that's how things come in for me, mostly. But you have to go through the process of the ups and downs with your path. That is how you'll learn, and that is how you will grow and expand. And that's why I'm saying about the people in queue who are too into it and can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, because there's some people who've just stayed in a tunnel, and they're like, they just won't come out, and not realising that this is 17 thumbs up, thank you. This is the bigger picture of it all is beautiful, and it is, because it is a spiritual war and it's a spiritual journey we're all on. And people have got to realise that even with putting too much stuff out about that, with Q can bring a bad energy, and if you're constantly focusing on it, and that's what that side would want you to do anyway, and that's why I'm going to play a video in a minute and you'll totally understand what I'm saying. And obviously I met people on the way, like I'm still in contact with Roxanne and a load of other people, but they're doing the thing, so everybody's busy mad, you know, like Red Pill Phil, I'm still in contact with Red Pill Phil, but he's busy mad doing his thing, everyone's busy mad doing the thing, all the things that are going on. You know, And that's what you do, and it's been fantastic, and I'm still talking hi and meeting new people, and it's fantastic, and your beautiful comments and everything, and the support and everything's beautiful. So like I said, in that time when I was waking up, when I drew this picture, I think it was last September or July, and maybe it started in September, something like that, I can't remember. When I painted this picture, 2 months after I painted this picture is when the orbs started coming in. Now, Tapper77, I don't think he's in the chat unless he's watching. Now, if you remember, when I had a certain light on, we started seeing, if I went back on my computer and I got the certain light I had before, you would see the orbs were coming in when I was singing, when I was saying things, and everyone was like, oh my God, they're like on live chat they were. And I've seen many people do that as well, and I do film them and put them up. And then, well, just listen. Oh, yeah. You should just listen. That's what you can tell when people are just trying to distract people because they don't listen, they just shout out. So, 2 months after that, I started seeing orbs, twinkles in the corner of my eyes, this, that, and the other, and this is where that's progressed. And ever since I've focused on it, yeah, do you remember, Effie? It was mad when it was beautiful, when they started showing up. And some people said, oh, Dolly, when I didn't have my dreads in, that looks a bit like you. Well, it was a bit weird because, well, it wasn't weird because there's just weird magical things going on. So the energies are more stronger now. You've got the Schumann resonance kicking off, all this stuff. Went through a load of stuff with other people's channels that were, I was into at the time. But like I say, you move away from things and just go where you resonate with. There's a lot of people getting stroppy about things and not in a good energy as far as I'm concerned. With the crystalline DNA, and when I used to do the twinkly hands, which is still there. That some people say something and some people say something else. It's whatever it is in your reality. And that's how the orbs came in, and they've been getting stronger and stronger the more I've been communicating. And I would say telepathically, because I can ask in my mind and they come in, and I ask for flashes like I did last night. We had the gold and pink when I asked for healing. I have always thought goldish pink is a healing colour. It's pink, pink's one of my favourite colours, but it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I just love seeing people wake up. So, yeah, all the orb stuff started last year, and that's where I said I've always known about energies, but I was not seeing them that way, and the forms of the energy with my actual eyes. I don't need the camera to see them either, but and I remember when I put a film of when I was in a country park near me, and I put my hand near a tree and a green orb came out of the tree, and I filmed that as well. That's somewhere up on YouTube. So that's all there documented for people, for all the naysayers out there. Yeah, the golden one, it was stunning, wasn't it? So, some people will still be like, oh, it's a moth or it's a piece of dust. It might be in your reality, lovies, but it's not in mine because, I'm experiencing it, and you can only talk from truth when you've actually experienced it. So, going along with that, I'm just going to play you something. Yeah, they're just so strong at the minute, and that's why I say there's lots of energies and things being coming in now. That's why you have to be careful with your own energy as well, and put your barriers up. But I think if you're in a higher form of vibration, you're going to get good vibrations in anyway, because I would say light's attracted to light and darkness is attracted to dark. So I'm going to play a bit of a video, just a little bit of Above Duality yesterday, when, I can't remember what his name is, the guy off Above Duality asked Magenta Pixie, and he saw my question and he asked, because I've wanted someone to say it out loud on camera. So we're going to go there now. Hi John, we're going to go there now and find it. Just where she answered my question. I love Magenta, I think she's great. I love all the people that are on the channel. I love, like Laura Eisenhower. Some people don't like them. That's why I had a problem with some people ages ago shouting out about Magenta Pixie, just because, funny enough, because she knows what Q is and she knows it's for the good. It's not that she's into it. She knows it's for the light. So I'm not getting distracted by chat, but yeah, they had
download a free audiobook.
Quite a few people on the other day. I like their channel as well, and the meditations are lovely. So And I just need to find out where it was. But please go and check out that from, I think it was yesterday, Galactic Roundtable it was called, and it was on Above Duality's channel if you've not checked their channel out. So, let me see. Laura Eisenhower. So we've got the lovely magenta. Let's see.
Aware of truth will be going through this other world, which on every level. So that's something
we always talk about as you do all this light work, you'll.
a few days ago.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
See if I can find it.
I love what you said about, and I've experienced a lot of this. It'll be recognized different in different eyes. And anyway, so I'm experiencing that right now, and many of you are.
So, see if I can find it.
But Marina, with regards to the new structures and new businesses, different things that people who maybe have agreed not to, or are not doing that, or will come later. And I'm sure when you try and lump in software that requires too much hardware.
See if I can find it.
What happens when it breaks the machine? It freezes. So it's got to be.
Don't know where I came in at. Let me see.
We're going through a global detox, personally and collectively, and there's a point in which nations will start to really bring.
Laura's great. I love
and
Laura.
I call that, like the override frequency, in all of its different forms, down. They will look as though they are normal structures to the everyday person. It's only the aware individuals that will see this world and see these structures.
Sorry, I've got mess about to find this. Let's see if I can find it.
Harry Styles.
See if I can find it. I think I found it. Yeah, found it. Right, so he's going to ask a question. He saw my question in chat and he answers it. So this is what I'm going to play because, you know, I'm all into the orbs and everything like that. So sorry about that, just trying to find it. So let's see. So, and I was talking to Eve today and I said, over the time I've been filming the orbs and connecting with them, she answered it exactly what I was thinking. I knew it was other states of consciousness. I knew it was mine as well, energy. I knew it was other things as well because it's all the consciousness, so it's from all over. So when she said this, I was like, that's exactly, I just resonated with everything she said, so I'm going to play it. You don't have to resonate, I do, because it's my journey and this is you know, the experience I'm having, and I just loved it that he picked it up and she answered it. So let's go over.
Question, and thanks for letting me answer it.
Beautiful, thank you. Yeah, I totally agree. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, next quick question. This is a bit of a random one, and I'm going to toss it at you, Magenta, just because I feel like it. Is Dolly Daydream, thanks for your question. What about orbs? I see more white light, but blue the other day, but I want to expand that.
I was saying in chat, I always see white, pure white light, and I know that's good, and the blue, I know that's good. But the blue's been coming in again, and it was in tonight. But I also see pink, I've seen silver, you've seen flashes of silver, gold, pink gold, absolutely beautiful, and I've had rainbows in before as well. So it's beautiful.
Question a little bit. What about orbs? I'm kind of curious. This is
because no one answers this
subject, but I see orbs all the time, and I know many of you do. Can you talk a little bit about orbs, what they may be, and just some commentary around these wonderful light beings, I suppose?
Again, we come back to multidimensionality. These orbs are manifestations of so many different things.
I knew it was different dimensions.
Consciousness projected. This can be an extraterrestrial being coming in. This can be astral travelers that are emanating a light. But ultimately, this is you seeing individualized intelligence.
And she was talking to me in chat because it was my question, or I know anyone who would be thinking the same thing.
Consciousness, and whilst there are nefarious orb structures, they're usually darker. But if you're seeing them white and light and blue and pink and all different colours, they're usually light ones. Not always. There can be some very dark, almost black orbs that are highly evolved and very positive, and there can be white orbs that are nefarious. I mean, to answer that question is very difficult, but I personally, if I had to give that answer in a concise way, then these are intelligence structures, consciousness structures that are individualized. Some of these you can actually go into, and then you can see different forms when
You
go
can see
into them.
faces and pictures
So
of things.
there can be an orb, as in the presentation of that being, that consciousness is an orb. That's how it presents. But others are transportation devices, like the organic matrix field of a being, and you can go into the orb. And when you look inside the orb, you will see a fairy or pixie-like being. Or sometimes the orb, when you go into it, is actually a ship, transportation device, as I said, Merkaba. So orbs are multiple and varied. And asking that question is kind of like someone outside of Earth saying, what is a being? What is it? And you would say, well, they're human, they're animals, they're insects. So orbs can be multiple different things. But did you say the person asking the question saw a specific color orb?
Yeah, it was, let's see now. Yeah, there was the seeing of white and blue orbs as well. Maybe they have different.
So white and blue, if they're being seen together, and obviously if somebody is watching this material, then this person is aware and so is unlikely to be seeing nefarious orbs unless they're being trained. And a lot of that training ground has sort of come to its conclusion now as we've moved into this new phase. So people are more in this mastery phase rather than student phase, even though the two are
Great answer.
always intertwined. Personally, the blue and the white orbs would be extraterrestrial, outside of time, outside of linear time. So
Over that way.
multidimensional, ultra-dimensional travelers from other time zones, and seeing your own guidance system. I mean, the nine present to me usually as angelic beings, but they can lose that form and become orb-like. So extraterrestrial consciousness structures of higher intelligence, and for this particular person, I feel this is about catalyzing, and it's about assisting with downloads, assisting with DNA activation and healing, and all of those things that occur. Which is, we were on the subject of ascension symptoms, and ascension symptoms can be.
So we are all healing.
Like a medical symptom.
I'm getting help as well.
All these higher dimensional symptoms, and seeing orbs would be one of them. Seeing all sorts of beings, we're opening up to an entire new
Seeing
sight,
beyond the veil.
an entire new reality. And seeing orbs is something that will be commonplace in a few years. The spiritual awakening that's occurring in these next few years is absolutely phenomenal. And so orbs is part of that whole awakening process. So that would be my response. And again, it's something I could talk about.
I wish you would.
In much more depth, but obviously we don't have the time to do that. So.
No, magic. Thank you, Magenta. That adds a ton of value to me as well. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, final question, then we're going to go into a quick meditation.
So check out Above Duality. I just want to show that bit because obviously that was answered my question, and that was me asking that question in the chat, and I got an answer, and that's what I was coming to in my own self. I knew it was me as well. A consciousness takes a form, and when I did a holistic healing, I can't remember what it's called, quantum healing over on Unbiased and on the Fence a while back, when I was a form of conscious energy going through the cosmos, because in that, you'll understand if you know about that, they kept saying, oh, can you see your body? What does your body look like? And I was like, just a colour. It was blue, by the way. I was like, blue. Interesting. Blue. I'm like, blue. I was just energy, but I was conscious it was me. I didn't have a body as a human body. I was just consciousness flying about, and I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful out here. It's so beautiful. I just want to stay out here and fly around forever. Trust the plan, revel, trust the plan, revel. Look at you there. That's so funny. So that's that bit. And then what I also wanted to share with you was, if I've got enough juice in my phone, the lovely boys over on Journey to Truth. Yes, they're into Q as well, but they also know it's a spiritual journey, and you've got to do the work on yourself and all that good stuff. Thank you, Effie, for putting Above Duality TV is in the live chat, because they know that as well. You can't stay stuck in Q, even though we're on Q, and Q's helped us, with all the material stuff going on in the world, but it's still part of the light, So, Journey to Truth podcast, I think it is. I'm just gonna check out about where I was.
Overnight, so
now, we're going to listen to a bit and then I'll move it forward. But it's a guy called Mason who's talking about when he was in the army and he went the Freemasons and all this sort of stuff. And I'll play a bit from the beginning and then I'll move it up. I'm starting my journey, but I'm so lost. You will find your way. As you move around YouTube and the things that you watch, you'll start finding the people you resonate with. I'm not going to tell you. I bring people up on my chat, as in I'll show you bits of videos. If you resonate, you resonate. If you don't, you don't. But you will find your way. Just know you're not on your own. You're not on your own. So the lovely boys over on Journey to Truth podcast, who are big into Q as well, but they know it's a spiritual journey and you've got to move away from certain rabbit holes, because if you stay there, it's not because it's not true, it's just if you stay in them rabbit holes, you're going to get depressed with the truth. Truth hurts, but the truth sets you free. So let's have a look. Where did we go?
With intent to not to they wanted me to meet there, and I graduated top 3 in my class, and then ever since then it was my dream to go work at that place I went to school at, which was the NGA, the actual facility. It was just one of the biggest accomplishments, actually getting a civilian job, not only in the military, but a civilian teaching there at the NGA. And I actually, at the same time, was drilling there as a soldier. So I had 2 jobs within this facility, which was, it's like...
See, and this is the whole point in sharing. Everyone's sharing, going on different shows, sharing what's going on, and everyone's putting like the pieces of the jigsaw together. Everyone's got a little piece and we're putting it together. So that's why people shouldn't get on people's backs about their path and their journey and what they're experiencing,
Great accomplishment once you go from reservist to essentially your highest rank of what you can do as any type of position within these intelligence ranks.
Revelers playing again.
I was actually under a program that was overseen by the Obama administration when it came to certain aspects of national security. And it's funny because during this time, this was about 2017, our products every month would go to his desk, yet we never got a response, meaning... One, he didn't care.
They wouldn't get a response off Obama because he didn't care. And Obamacare was the crappiest thing going in America. Sorry.
At our work where he was too preoccupied, and then you can kind of see what happened after that. And this project was pretty big when it comes to nuclear assets. I will say that. Tracking them, seeing where they're going, who owns them. And if a president doesn't care about that, what's going around in the world, he's obviously doing something else. So kind of makes sense. But so basically, I was climbing up the ranks. I was making like $40K a year in the Army, basic, specialist. And then I got bumped to 75 for being a civilian. And then the money just kept coming. And as the money kept coming, I started getting introduced to people. I would be in meetings with some head people in the intelligence agency. I actually attended a meeting with Mr. Clapper, who was at the time, I think he was the director of the National Defense Intelligence Agency. I attended a conference at a facility called ADF East, doing some updates on our security and things like that. But as I continued to go forward, I started being approached by some cabinet members of some Freemasons that were basically by George Washington's estate in Alexandria, Virginia, there is the first Masonic Lodge, or one of the first ones. They do have that temple there in Old Town, but they wanted me to meet there. Basically, that's kind of what awoken my eyes, because I was like, well, why is there a club inside of a government intelligence agency? You know, I got recruited previously while I was a recruit in the Army. Like, hey, you want to join the Freemasons? Oh yeah, go do this stuff. One of the things he told me is anything you get promised, whether it be money, rank, or power, make sure you get it in writing. And that's the thing that kind of held on to my attention span when I started talking to these people. It's like, how can they promise me those things? I actually remember when I was 23, just here in my hometown, Bremerton, one of them asked me to go visit the temple. And I went to go knock on the door, and then something inside my head was like, go to the back door. I was like, all right, that's kind of weird. So I would walk around, go to the back, and then said, all right, go to the front door. And I got totally tripped out at this point. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I'm not going to do it. So I completely left. Called the dude that wanted me to show up. And he's like, oh, they won't make you do anything you don't want to do. And I said, that's kind of weird. And so I held off. But being revisited in the intelligence agency many years in the future, these people, they don't hold a rank like director. They don't hold a rank like branch chief. They don't hold any positional authority, but they have more authority in those ranks than the actual elected people, just because the people they're tied into. And if you don't agree with what they do or say, they can ruin your career. Actually, a couple of days before I got fired, I told one of my coworkers, he was like, why don't you want to join the Masons? And I said, well, because I don't want to touch little boys and do rituals. And then literally the next day I got fired.
Wow.
So,
Wonder why.
Though. I mean,
Good for
you.
you.
well, but at that time I had no idea. I was just joking. I was like, because that gave me a weird feeling. So, but I had told this dude, like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And I got fired. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So that says everything you need to know
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Well, these people are different. They, and then learning kind of through my own research, some of the stuff they study, makes sense why they're infiltrated in these positions. You're starting to learn about higher mental functions in accordance with chakra systems to not only manipulate other people.
This is why I say to people, when people go on about the Illuminati, the Lumadonki, the Lumafati, whatever I said, it's called the Illuminati because they're enlightened. They know about the chakra systems and certain energy points and portals and all this stuff that people are learning about either now or before. It doesn't matter when you got on your path, what you were doing. Do you know what I mean? That's not important. What we're saying is, we're all learning about that. They've hidden the truth from us, and people are realizing, and people are waking up to what they are. They were illuminated to all the truth, an ancient truth as well, and they didn't want the majority of the world to know, unless you got in their club. But if you got in the club, certain clubs, you'd have to do certain things to get there. But they didn't want the whole world waking up, basically, because then their world ends, which is what's happening. The old guard is falling down.
But to portray an illusion of yourself towards other people. So when you think about like a speaker, for example, like maybe Obama, when it put him out there, they are taught how to use their third eye to project.
This is called episode 84. It's episode 84 with Mason Theory, I think it is, occult practices and intelligence agencies. So
outward to whoever they're discussing,
hi.
In however emotion they want to seed into people's consciousness. And that's just understanding higher mental form of thinking. Manifesting your own desire or your own will with intent through knowledge to have manipulation over other people. And
that's why I said we have free will. They know that, but they try to manipulate the energies. They try to, for their benefit, that's why mainstream media, mafia media, medieval media, I like to call it, do what they do to mess with people's mindsets. So they think they've got free will, but they haven't. They can't manifest properly because they've been told something and they're feeding into their timeline, their way of what they want us to do because they know how it works. And if they can manipulate the public, then the public don't wake up, and that's what has been happening. That's what we're seeing now. And that's why so many people at the minute are having breakdowns. I call them breakthroughs. Breakdowns, they're in fear. There's certain people who are going through it all and they're becoming enlightened and they're becoming quite happy and peaceful at what's going on because we see the bigger picture. We know this is a show being let out. People need to wake up, but everyone's going through the whole whatever at the minute, we can see this.
There's so much more that goes into this kind of stuff.
Well, there's a,
Very, very
it's
deep.
all black magic, and they're very well versed in this stuff. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not just that. There's all kinds of mind manipulation.
Black magic, like I say, yin and yang. There's good magic and dark magic. It's just energy. Energy is just, to me, neutral. It's your intentions and how you manipulate it, transmute it, whatever it is. They know how to do that. And they didn't want us waking up, but we have. It's been a ripple effect for, I could say centuries, but we're at the pinnacle point now.
Tactics that they practice, and actual rituals and actual ceremonies, and that's obviously the Freemasons come in.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a bit of that, and then something he brought up about Q, and this is the bit that I wanted to play before my phone dies. So, yeah, thank you, Craig, for coming and saying that. People don't realise it's a satanic cult Trump is fighting against, and people take the mick and they don't listen and they shout out, and they haven't got a clue what's going on. They're going to find what out's going to go on, and they're going to feel very silly about not going doing their own research, but let's just...
The whole world should not be afraid of this because, these people are already taken down. There's already these...
This is it now. I've said, and a lot of us said, this has already been done while we've all been in so-called quarantine, so-called virus. It's already been done. How he explains this is how I've said it before and many other people said it. We've still got to carry on with it, but it's already been done. So listen to what he says. A lot of us know this. This is why I'm at peace and I don't have to be constantly looking at stuff. Q's dropping like mad at the minute, but I don't go there. I get a lot of stuff sent off my dad. I don't really look because I understand what's going on. And you don't have to, how he explains it, let me put up how he explains it. Yeah, they've been waking up fast.
Information.
Right, let's see.
So easy for me to see what, I'm not trying to say that.
And I agree what he says about Q in a minute as well.
As I've been calming my mind, I've been noticing, as opposed to...
Yes, Lois, we are watching people go through the cognitive dissonance, and the cognitive dissonance is massive. It's so massive. My husband playing guitar. I haven't got a husband. Not yet.
Not long ago, I was right there, sucked in it as well.
I was there at one point too. Yeah.
They're tools. They really are, but they're tools for what...
Q was a tool, I've said this, to help you research the truth. Now, what he says now is exactly, what I have been saying as well.
The occult would say the master.
Yeah.
So with the Q movement, right, it gives people the ability to do all this research, to be aware of a world that they never thought existed or they never wished to exist.
Because that's a cognitive dissonance. It makes you aware of a world you didn't think existed, and a lot of people won't take it in because they're like, what are you talking about? Big wake-up call for these people. But...
Problem is your own traumas can then be identified within this movement to where you're not healing yourself. You're spending all your time on this information.
Exactly. What he's trying to say there, he's not slagging the Q movement off or anyone jumps on it. He's saying you're not going to heal if you stay in that information. That doesn't mean Q's bad. It's bringing you what is happening in the world because you do need to know the truth. But if you stay in it, and I'll press the button again in a minute, if you stay in that energy of just constantly looking at the same info, it's like people just constantly looking at some of the sick stuff, you're going to end up sick yourself. You're not going to heal from it because you're not letting it go. The stuff you're hearing at in the end, you're going to have to let that go because it's all for new solutions.
Not necessarily out of your control,
Healing.
but it is out of your control in the sense of why are you spending all your time doing all that? It's good to spread the information, but it's also, there's a trend. The more people that do the inner work, the more the outer world's shadow is exposed.
And that is what's happening as
The
well,
more we look
because
inside-
as much as there's people talking about the truth and what he's trying to say there is loads of people doing the inner work, and they realise when they go through Q and they come to themselves, they come through their higher selves, God's source, your universe within you. When you do the inner work, manifests in the outside, and that's why it is happening. And that's why I always say Trump is a manifestation of what we wanted in the world. And that's why I don't get people's mindsets who say they're spiritual and say they know about manifestation. Something had to come in somewhere, and if you know about manifestation, it is real, law of attraction, when you use it properly, because they miss things out in the book of The Secret. Things manifesting, they don't manifest in how you expect, they manifest in strange and mysterious ways. Well, Trump looked like a bit of a strange one when he came in, didn't he? But he is taking down the satanic cabal who are trafficking the children and much worse, and other things that people haven't got a clue about. But we're all still smiling because we've got through all that part of it, because we're realising you can't stay stuck in that energy, because you won't move anywhere. If we all stayed stuck there, there would be nothing going, there would be no solutions to move forward.
Within ourselves, but we're all connected. We're just separated by perspective.
Yeah.
The more that this darkness is going to fall, this play has already been written. We're
Yes.
witnessing it now. Trump's done with COVID, you know, showing the world, because he's not just addressing America. He's saying the whole world should not be afraid of this, because
This is what I mean. People don't get it. Why are you looking at America? Why Trump? It's just for America. It's not for America. It's for the world. It's for Earth. He's going to prove that COVID's not. You know what I mean? It's all coming out all over the place if you're actually looking at in the right places.
you know, these people are already taken down. There's already these operations being done.
Yes,
There's deals
correct.
been taken. There's people resigning. There's 200 and some odd CEOs.
People are resigning. We've known people have been resigning since Trump got in. The lovely Gran Torino was doing all the resignations a few years ago of people stepping down from massive corporations, but nobody wants to research. They just want to listen to what the news is saying. They're not telling you anything, even though they're going to start reporting on it, because snippets are coming out on Fox and different places, especially with Hannity and people like that, because they're going to have to. They're not going to be able to not, because everyone's realising what's going on.
Resigned within the last year. Those are deals in the professional world that were taken because those people are going to be removed from the game. So now, us as I guess you call them light workers or way showers, what I think the mode of focus should now be is
Now, what he's about to say is what I've been saying in chat for a couple of weeks, months now, saying, when we move forward out of the holes, staying in the rabbit holes, you need to heal. This is why we're all sharing. The biggest thing now is the healing. And that's why I started Mindset Mondays, to do my chats about, you know, the chats that I normally do about, you know, raising your vibrations, starting to heal, start going within, start healing. Yes, you can talk your truth, you can look at that, but don't stay too much in that energy, because there's people just ping-ponging around in there and you're not going to get anywhere, especially with your healing within. This is what I've said. So when he said it as well, I was like, yes, this is where most of us know about that. But it helps when we're talking about stuff, and it helps people see the journey I've been through, and then we go through it and then we realise, yeah, he is spot on, Zal. He's very, that's why when I love these guys on the channel anyway. I've not seen this guy before, I don't think, but he's spot on. This is what most of us are saying in, you know, this community that's going on about the healing. The healing, there's some people shouting out because they think people are taking people down the road. No, we're not. I've got there. I knew it was that. You know, we're all helping each other.
making sure that we're in check. You know, how are we doing? Because there's a lot going on in the world, and we can pick up those things and sometimes not realize that that's not necessarily
look
what's
after
going on
yourself.
within us, but within our area. And then create opportunities for people to have access to that kind of information.
Because you're not going to be able to let new energies in to transform, you know, to transform new energies in your body if it's all full of negative energy and full of like stuck, stale crap that you're not letting go of, which you don't need. And if you don't need it and it's making you feel like crap, you need to let go of it. And that's not just things, it's people around you. That's why I said you do have to put boundaries up. I'm not into all that crap of like, oh, you've got to let your back. No, you do have to put your boundaries up.
Because on a wide scale, and this is just my observation, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone in the community, but I think if we were to
Thank you, Danny, for
promoting more
coming
healing
in. Get some
individually,
sleep.
we will see a faster progression of healing within the planet.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because in a sense, right now, what we're seeing.
Mark my words, when the biggest shit hits the fan, which we know is coming, it's here. It's not coming. I mean, it's already happening. There's been loads happening ever since. Get ready. Mark my words. All the people that know will be helping the other people that don't know that are coming through it. There'll be a massive, big, I don't know, zoom of like, we're here for you. You're all going to be doing it. You're all going to be doing it. Family and friends that thought you were bonkers, all that stuff that I've said before.
what I'm seeing is we exit from the matrix. We exit from one program, and then now you've entered another program that's just as dangerous, actually. Even though even though you're learning about all this stuff, you know, exposing all these criminals and all this stuff, and yeah, we are fighting to make a change. It's still another program. Like Aaron said one time.
And that's why people get confused with me and when they think it was into Q. It is another program. We're getting through different ones, but it's not. That's not a bad program. That is bringing truth up. But you just listen to what they say, because this is where people get confused.
You should just be a stepping stone. It's not the
If you
end
stop there and you put all your energy,
He just said Q is just a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. As you move through it, you step over it. You're like, yep. See what's going on. Right, what we're going to do. How we're going to move forward. What solutions are we going to have? Don't get me wrong. There's boots on the ground with things that are going on, because it's their mission. My mission isn't to go out and protest and do all that. There's people doing that. The people need to feel like they were doing something in these times. Mine's to help what I help with. Other people are doing that, and that's not wrong or right. It's your mission.
focus into that. Yeah, you're just stepping into another program, and you're actually just feeding the dark by feeding it all your energy instead of.
Yeah, feeding it all your energy. If you're feeding it all your energy of what you focus on, because that's another thing, and then you turn into that thing. So I've always said, Q is about questioning everything. It's about what's it called? Consciousness, awareness. It's about being aware of what's going on, but not getting too dragged down with it. Otherwise, you become what that thing is that you're focusing on. Like a lot of people out there, you become what you're focusing on, angry and stuff, because of the thing that you're focusing on too much. You know.
Yeah, it's still an illusion.
Yes.
Yeah. Q's not going to be around forever. What happens when Q's over? Where all these...
pulling
And
out
that doesn't
CD
mean
isn't
ignore
easy.
what's
It's
going
not.
on. It doesn't mean, because that's what a lot of people do the other extreme, where they don't want to look at it at all. Don't tell me. Don't talk about it, because now you're creating.
They're saying the other extreme. There's people that are too much into it. I was there at one point, and then there's people who just won't look at the dark. They won't. Oh no, can't look at that. No, it's not happening. Where. You know what I mean? Bit of balance, people.
Also, them not being able to face a shadow within them.
Yes.
And he's just said the people who can't face the dark of what's going on and they totally don't want to know. I've had discussions with this. People say, oh, I've met someone who said they were a light worker, or they worked in this shop, and you think they're all spiritual. But as soon as you mention anything, oh no, shut up, don't, I can't hear that, because they don't want to know about the dark, because they think it's all light. Well, there is the dark as well. And like what he's just said, that's because most of those people don't want to face the dark within them. Because it isn't nice to face, but most of us are doing it. It's you get through it.
That's a shadow aspect that they don't even want to touch. I don't don't even talk about that.
I know people like that. Yeah.
And they go, they're sensitive, and I say, I understand that, but here's the key to escaping duality. You have to see both sides.
Mm-hmm. You
have to see both sides.
And this is why I drew the owl this morning. I said its head rotates right round. I've had arguments with people in my family and stuff like that before. I mean, they're waking up now, so that's fine. Still people around me who go, oh, it's this, and this, and I'll go, it's this. I go, yeah, but I've seen that side. But with Q helping me to research the other stuff, and I've seen that side, so I've seen both sides. You can't look from just one side. All the people caught up in mainstream media are on a different channel. They won't turn over to Channel 3, so they can't see what's going on. They don't want to, and a lot of do it out of because they don't want to be wrong, or they don't want the bubble burst, or whatever it is. Yeah, know what your strength is and use it like a beacon for those who ask. Exactly, Effie.
You have to integrate the energies because you're a light worker.
The guest name is Mason Fury. I think it says on it episode 84. So you'll find it. It's one of the recent ones he put out.
Shadow.
Yes, exactly.
So, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
To see both sides, you have to integrate the energies because you're a light worker. Why? Because you shine on the shadow.
Yes, exactly.
So you take the shadow and you take it within and you transmute it, or you use it to push you forward. Because normally, your past lives and your things of like different layers of back in the past, that helps you at the person you are today. So it's not all bad, but that's how you do it. You take it, let it go, digest it, let it go. It comes out the other end. You know what I mean? Let it go. Flush it down the toilet and let it go. Move forward.
I just want to clarify also, like you said, no disrespect to anybody that's out there fighting for this
Yeah, no, not at all. That's obviously their mission.
No.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe they're
Listen to what they said.
Yeah.
And they go, they're sensitive, and I say, I understand that, but here's the key to escaping duality. You have to see both sides.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to see both sides. You have to integrate the energies because you're a light worker. Why? Because you shine on the shadow.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So
And I just want to clarify also, like you said, no disrespect to
Shined all
anybody
over
that's
that
out there
shadow.
fighting for this.
yeah, no, not at all. That's obviously their mission.
No.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe what they're doing is working for them, and it won't work for me, and vice.
Said about the people fighting for it.
Light worker. Why? Because you shine on the shadow.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So
And I just want to clarify also, like you said, no disrespect to anybody that's out there fighting for this.
yeah, no, not at all. That's obviously their mission.
No.
Yeah, and honestly,
All got different missions.
what they're doing is working for them, and it won't work for me, and vice versa.
Mhm.
It's just we're all at a different level, also.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't mean any disrespect. It's just something I've noticed.
And it's also accountability for your own.
See, I wouldn't say levels. I'd say rings. There's the ring. The outer rings were the one that came before, like a ripple effect. Then there's ones, and then we move in, and then there's us that came. You know what I mean. 30, 31. There's a validation. 31 chat, 31 thumbs up. Thank you. But all on, but it all works for the. All of us anyway. Do you know what I mean? It all comes together.
Like when you're and this is what I've noticed, when you're tapping into some of these subjects, depending on your level of awareness, you're actually bringing forth that energy. So if I'm viewing darkness, there's darkness viewing me. It's a two-way street in this dimension.
I love when he says this. If you're viewing darkness, darkness is viewing you, and it can probably come in and start messing. This is why I say keep on a higher frequency, because if you're viewing the light and you're trying to fill most of your time up with that and putting your intention out and all that good stuff, like I said, you're aware of the other stuff. You're just not focusing and viewing on it. The light's going to know you, and that's why I believe with the orbs and stuff like that are coming in with me, that I'm the personal experience I'm having on my path, on my individual path.
Third eye dudes. If I'm observing you, you're being observed. So when you're into these type of topics and you're getting into the sadistic, satanic, ritualistic stuff, you're actually absorbing some of that energy from what you're inputting in your attention because you're paying attention to it.
It's where you focus.
Where they have access to you. And you're actually...
What you focus on, you become. What you focus in comes in. So be careful what you're focusing on too much. I don't mean you're going checking the news and you're looking at a few bits. I mean, if you're constantly focusing on that, then,
holding on to energetic baggage from constantly viewing this type of stuff. So if that's what motivates you and you want to create that as a movement, that's absolutely fine, but just make sure you do clearings, make sure you're not bringing any baggage home. And another thing, I was talking to a friend of mine, is when they're telling these versions of these stories, you have to be aware of what your throat chakra is projecting towards people. Are you projecting fear or are you projecting hope? And there's a huge...
I love the way he said that. Are you projecting fear when you're talking out, or hope? I like to think on here, I'm talking about hope, because I do. And it's not a false hope, it's more, I won't even say hope, it's a faith in what's going on. So if you're the sort of person, or you're on YouTube and you're spouting fear all the time, that says a lot about what you're focusing on.
Difference between the two. If I tell you a story of my past experience, should you feel sad for me? Or should my experience help you feel empowered about how I got through it? And that's using your higher chakras to not influence or hurt anyone, but to show the truth through what you do.
Well, I think you've pretty much mastered that, because your story is empowering.
And that's a fraction. I still got a lot of personal details I don't really want to get out on the web.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but you told it. What I'm saying is, you told it in a way that was empowering. It wasn't like you left us hopeful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's for those 2 years, I will tell you, I thought of suicide every single day. But there was an inner strength within me that I knew that those thoughts weren't mine.
Yeah.
This wasn't mine.
Not all your thoughts are yours. Mm-hmm.
And as a result of constantly reprogramming that thought, even though it was the daily thing, right?
And that's why I said this morning about reprogramming your thoughts. You speak to yourself kindly, and when something negative pops in, replace it with a positive. Something negative pops in, place it with a positive. Reprogram your programming that we've been programmed to think of ourselves, and so on and so forth.
I didn't eat for like 3 weeks at a time one time. I was at 240 pounds. I went down to
And
like
I think I think it is him who mentions about the light. You do eat off the light, the ether around us, this space. When we talk about space, they talk about space up there. No, this is space, and you have an inner space, and beings from different elements, they all come from inner space as well. The inner space within you, because there's the whole universe going on within you, and inner space. Remember the film? Because that popped up the other day in my head. I was like, oh my God, that's why they did the film in a space, and they injected that guy into the body, and it was like being in space in the body, all these weird things. Inner space, your inner space. That's what they were telling us.
68 in a month because I wasn't eating. But it's crazy because my old body that I had with
Everything's within this realm. I think things come from other dimensions, another way, not that way, across that way, and within you. You know what I mean? So
all the supplements, it was fueling this adventure. So
Yeah.
in a way, fasting
exactly,
for
Lois.
that half a month is what accelerated my spiritual growth because I was fasting, not because I wanted to be, but it's because I was forced to be.
Yeah.
And this is why this spiritual awakening, the great awakening that Q says, isn't just the Q stuff, it's a spiritual awakening of you. And it's getting faster and faster. And that's why I think there's a lot of people in the so-called spiritual community who get really peed off with people because they think, well, we were on it for years, these people just seem to woke up a bit quicker and didn't maybe not have to go through that many traumas. So what? You should be happy people are waking up. It is affecting people, because like these energies are coming, it's helping people to stabilize themselves as we go through all these energies and things that are going on.
Interesting, yeah.
I want to do the 40-day fast. 15 is the longest I've gone.
The longest I've gone was 7 days one time.
I'm gonna stop it
it's
after
quite
this
amazing,
bit.
isn't
I had a bacterial infection in my stomach, and I had to basically quit eating for a week. Otherwise it would not. I had to cleanse it.
33 thumbs
And
up.
honestly,
Your body naturally does that.
and what happened was I had more energy after the first couple of days. I had more energy than I would have ever imagined. I would have never guessed that I would have felt so good.
Do you know why that is?
I mean, enlighten me.
So your body takes in fuel for the physical self. When you're taking in cosmic energy, or what we would
This
call
cosmic energy.
the negative polarity energy, which is this
Breathe
energy
it in.
Space, your etheric body.
Like the lovely Ralph would say on Infinite Waters, breathing in the good ass prana, that feeds your soul system. That just came in. That feeds your soul system. Breathing in those deep. Oh, yeah, love it.
Is being charged at that point. So your body is taking in cosmic energy. You're no longer trying to repair cells. Your cells are repaired. You're taking an infinite abundance of energy. You can live off water and breath alone because you're charging your energy centers. You're creating an electromagnetic field that will stimulate those cells. So if you wanted to do this permanently, there's people that have done it for like 20 years. You have to get your body to optimal health before you can create that electric current within your being and no longer need food.
And there's people that do
There's a
that.
lot of people who are like, oh, you can't do that, but there's hundreds of people.
Bye,
that have done
Effie.
it
Thanks
throughout
for coming in.
many
Thank
cultures,
you.
and it's definitely possible. It's just, it depends on your level of surrender. Me personally, I like food.
It takes a certain mindset also. It definitely, you have to have a mindset to accomplish anything, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite incredible what the human body is just already designed to do, and we just forgot about it.
Oh yeah.
We're remembering.
So what do you see taking place as far as like the consciousness expansion right now? Like, obviously we're all doing the inner work, and then you said the inner work projects in the outer work. But as far as just on a worldwide collective, a lot of people have like these crazy numbers, like 80+% of the planet is already awake. And I think that's a high number, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on the
So you can be awake, but you can still be lost,
yeah.
right? Do you remember like
There are a lot of people that are awake that are lost. That's why we say, some people say, we say they're woke, but they're not awake, but they're still lost. So that's why it's important. Yeah, the ether.
I don't you guys awakened quite a while ago, I think, right? Because certain
About 8 years ago for me, and
about 8 years ago.
five.
But
Yeah.
would you say from 2017 till now?
That's why I was saying you awaken to some stuff, but some people stay in that energy of that stuff they're woken up to, and it keeps them from quickening, from moving a bit forward to get out of that and become more peaceful with themselves and all that good stuff, you know.
Oh, your awakening is accelerated.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what happens is the more that other people kind of break that cognitive programming, it opens up different areas within the collective grid that other people can tap into. So there are some beings that are incarnated here that have the ability to access past life dimensional energy from a higher level of existence. So when they anchor in those higher dimensional aspects, it uploads that to the collective to then be taught to people, or to have some people tap into
So it's
their
all
own dream space to
helping.
bring it back through. And what it is, it's just ancient lost knowledge. Have you guys read the Secret Flower of Life, the volumes of those?
I want to.
I read the first
If
one.
you're-
I read the first one, yeah.
But like I said, I'm going to leave it there because that you can go and check that out yourself and listen to it. You know, it's easier to listen to it. So that's Journey of Truth podcast. It is episode 84 with Mason, the guy called Mason. Before Effie went, he did put that into live chat, so you can check that out. So that was Above Duality. I was talking about before with the Magenta, talking about the orbs. That wasn't just on the orbs, it was a great listen to. Great people on that chat, that round table. And then that was Journey to Truth podcast. Lovely guys, you know. So please check it out. You may resonate or not resonate, or resonate with bits of whatever it is on your path that you are on. But I just thought I'd come and bring that because I loved it. You know, these are the people that I resonate with, and good stuff like that. So I'm going to just pull a card for us before I go. Because like I said, I only had 4 hours kick last night. And I'm like, I'm getting a bit tired now, but I've been okay. I had more energy anyway. And I did ask for healing last night myself with the orbs and stuff. And that's why I asked for the golden, you know, we got the golden pinky flash, which, you know, go and check that out if you haven't seen it. But yeah. Ask and you will receive. Amazing again, Dolly. Lovely. Thank you, Craig. So, let's see what pops out. Out for the people. So like I said, we're all on different missions. There's no arguing about, oh, you're on this and you should be doing this. No, I'm on my mission and other people are on theirs. And, you know, everybody's got their own thing that they go to and the people that they resonate. When we say resonate, it just means sometimes that you could go to another channel and they might be talking in big words, still about the same thing, because we all get muddled up with words. Thank you, all of you. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't really get that because they went, the words were too, I'm like that. Like I said, I'm a visual learner. You might come to my channel and someone else's and other people, you might think, oh, yeah, I actually get what you're saying, because people learn differently. We all, you know, are individual. We learn individual. Some people are visual. That's why when you go for jobs and things, now they do things where they try and find out if you're a visual learner, if you're a whatever learner, and I'm a visual learner. So we all, it's not because we don't resonate with people, because we don't. It's like sometimes you just may get you just may get it more off different people because the way they put it across doesn't mean anyone else is wrong. Do you know what I mean? So, first one's just turned over. I'll put that there. Well, you know, and I've not lost myself in this whole thing of the virus and all that because I've just been creating, sticking to what I love and I enjoy to do. And I have been inspiring people to do that, and I'm absolutely loving people being inspired by that because it's childlike, do you know what I mean? You have to be more childlike. So let's see if I can get 3 cards. And that song again, I'm like a bird, I want to fly away. And there was another song today was, oh yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, Kat's feeling so much love. That's what it's all about. We've got to raise the vibrations and we've got to have a laugh. And we've got to spread the positivity, you know, even through all the crap, because it helps you to get through things. That's what it's all about. Raising your state of consciousness. Your state that they try to govern, your state, your body, your realm up here. Higher state of consciousness. You govern your state. Sovereign being. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. So we've got the cosmos, creative, vastness, 41. Yeah. Creativity. If you're in the creativity, the vastness of life is creativity. Beautiful. See that like breath coming down like orbs and energies and healing and all sorts of stuff. Magical picture. Then we've got the dragon's jewel. Well, yeah. Oh, inner conflict, morality. Is it conscious choice? That's what I was talking about. There's a lot of people going through inner conflicts at the minute and they like to reflect on other people. That's going on now because of everything that's being unearthed, not just physically but spiritually as well and within yourself. So it's a bit like a duel going on. Red shift, blue shift, there we go. Right and left brain, you know, cognitive dissonance going on in some areas. But it's a conscious choice. It's a conscious choice you make. You have to make a conscious choice. Be responsible for the stuff you're putting out there. And then the last one is the altar priestess. She's doing a magic. And it says preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. And that doesn't mean evil, by the way. Ritual's just something you do repeatedly, maybe the same thing in the morning or whatever it is. It's like putting your makeup on, brushing your teeth. So preparation is needed for what's going on now. You need to prepare your mindset. This is what I've been saying for weeks because I know what's coming. Prayer, intentions, same thing to me. Prayer, intentions for you, your family, the president, but we know he's insulated, all that stuff. But prayer for Gaia, prayer for everything and everyone, all beings, and sacred ritual of making sure you're putting your magic out, you're shining your light, you're putting your intentions out every morning, you're being careful how you speak to yourself and others, especially to yourself, because it's yourself, your cells in your body to heal again. That's what I was talking about this morning. So there you go. I might just do one more because I'm feeling like it. I normally do 3, but we'll just see what pops out. If it does. There we go. Just jumped. The Lady of Gift. 2020. The Lady of Gift, and it says generosity, receiving, withholding. A lot of generosity when you give. Also you can receive, and you receive if you give. But withholding, you need to let go. There's a lot of things you need to let go of. Withholding. What are you withholding? To receive those things, you need to let go of the why and the where and the how and how's this happening and why and the where and the facts. Let go of it. It's magical when you do it that way. Yeah, gift of life. Yeah. And it's like she is in the white crystal light. Let me talk about the white orb. See the castle? She is, oh yeah, she sat with a load of crystals at the bottom. A bit like my, where is it? Quartz crystal. Quartz crystal. And it's like she's putting her magic out there as well. So, you know, giving your light to others, generosity, giving your sharing, caring, and all that sort of good stuff. So, yeah, carbon to crystal, exactly 666 to 999. So that was good. Hang on a minute. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about something. Yeah, so I'll leave you there with that. I hope that helps some people. Like I said, get your mindsets ready and be doing the work within. You know, you don't have to be. It's not a rush. It's not a big race of who's got there first and who did this and who that. Do it gently. Be gentle to yourself, but make sure you start remembering to talk. Listen to how you talk to yourself, and as soon as a negative thought comes in or anything, move it to a positive one, because those are not really your thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna go. So thanks all for coming in. Like I said, thanks for anyone who does make coffee donations or anything like that. And I will be back, what day is it? Wednesday. Supposed to be some stuff going down tomorrow, you know, in the 3D. Yeah, don't know, I'm getting tired now, because like I said, I only had 4 hours. Having a funny sensation in me. Funny 4 hours sleep last night. I may catch some orbs again later, we'll see. Move through your days in gratitude, love. Yeah, get yourself a notebook and write down what you're grateful for. I've got a notebook, that's what I do. And then my little drawings pop out now and again. So, like I said, if you're interested in anything you saw at the beginning, check me out on Dolly Lama Designs on Instagram or Dolly Daydream. And you can message me there. Just trying to think if there was anything else. Don't think so. No. So, yes, I will see you soon. Thanks all for coming in. Yeah, you're all great as well. Look at you all in chat, all getting on, all sharing what you're doing and things and all that. It's brilliant. Nice place to be. Nice space to be, holding space. So, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Deanie. Thanks. I'm just going to say thanks for everybody, because I can't go all the way through the whole thing. Yeah, butterfly. So if you've just come in, you're going to have to go back to the beginning, and I'll see you soon. Night. Bye.